Ismakame Rachanome Hianoke Ragdurusundon, Ismakanoma Iragrisundon, Hira Serasundon, Hero Mehayano Irasundon, Guasama Yande, Hero Marasa Nume Irasundon, Goya Hirasende. Mayana Mayande, Mayana Bayadirasan, Mayana Bayadirasan, Mayana Bayadiko Erasende, Hesadobe Erasundon. Simbakade Kurikrisimorekia, Kurikriasundon, Hayanamakade, Ragrikrasundon, Heramakanda, the Kurikrisundon, Bera Simbara Sayande, Eramadi Erasundon, Berasan, Hayande, Erasundon, Hayande, Erasundon, Hayande, Erasundon, Hay Ahuyane.
Welcome, old friends and new, to Spiritual Conversations with Callah and the Ancients, divine spiritual beings seconded to Earth to assist in the evolution of humanity. Embark with us on a journey of self-discovery that will spark within thought-provoking concepts and truths. My name is Dallas Beckett, friend, team member and facilitator for this time with Callah and the Ancients, and here with me today is the channel for Callah and the Ancients and spiritual writer Kim, and divine spiritual channel, scribe, artist, seer, and celestial empathic healer, Aimee. And today we're going to be discussing the higher vibrations. So I understand this is in relation to the manifestation on our last podcast, Kim. So perhaps you can tell us exactly what is a higher vibration.
Okay, well, I'll explain what, very briefly, vibrations and frequencies, because you need to understand those. Okay, so a vibration in the earth sphere is an energy that is not stable. It can be changed. Okay? So, for example, when you're doing affirmations, every time you speak the affirmation with the intent, and make sure your energy that's coming out of your mouth matches the words that you're speaking. And so you've got to have that emotion in there. And each time you do that, you are building a vibration. What a lot of people don't realize is that they get sick, they get fed up with the affirmation, and they get a bit despairing, and they get frustrated, and they say nothing's happening. But in actual fact, it's a process, and they are building a vibration every time they say that affirmation. What they need to do is keep going, and because vibration upon vibration upon vibration has to reach critical mass. And that is a point where it becomes a frequency. And when it becomes a frequency, that's when it manifests on the physical plane. If you might have experienced sometimes, maybe you walk into an area on a dark street, or maybe you go into a place where it's really unsettling, or you feel a chill, or you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. That is a frequency that is affecting the physical body.
Right.
Okay? And so it's affecting the physical plane. A vibration doesn't affect the physical plane. It might actually influence and have an impact on your emotional being, but it will not affect the physical plane. Okay? That's in the earth sphere. In the universal sphere, universal energies, it's the opposite. The frequencies are what can be changed all the time, but the vibrations cannot. So when you've got a vibration like love, which is a higher vibration, peace, joy, laughter, a child's laughter would be a higher vibration. Those higher vibrations in the universal sphere cannot be changed. They are solid, and they will impact on the physical plane. So when you are manifesting, you need to raise your vibration and get into those higher vibrations. Manifest from a place of joy, a place of peace, a place of love.
Okay, question for you, Aimee. So how do we go about tapping into these high vibrations?
Well, my main answer, though there is a couple of things that you can do, but my main answer is to deepen your connection to the divine. And this is kind of my standard solution on a spiritual level for everything, just like my fat Greek wedding where they always use Windex. This is my spiritual answer for everything, is deepen your connection to the divine.
Gosh, I think I've heard that before.
I'm sure you have. So the reason I say this is because it is when you actually are held in the arms of the divine that you actually tap into divine love. Now, divine love is a higher vibration. And as soon as you tap into divine love, the next thing that I'm going to say is compassion. And for me, and working with spirit, I think of compassion as divine love's most beautiful flower. Because to have compassion for yourself and for others is actually having compassion, not in a way that you are actually getting in the hole with somebody or that you are deflecting from their own soul lessons, because, you know, everybody needs to walk through their own soul lessons in order to evolve. But compassion is feeling empathy and divine love, really, for the struggle another being is going through in the passage to their own becoming. And it is a higher vibration. And if you bring that into any situation where there is conflict, you are going to create a different energy in order to actually find solution for that conflict. So those are the first two things. The next thing is that whether you are dealing with people or situations or jobs or pretty much anything in life, it is about once you have made those first two, you've got those first two higher vibrations going on, the divine love and the compassion that comes from that, then you are more able to make conscious choices about how you respond in any given situation with any given person. You actually create a conscious choice for yourself, because we are all great souls. And sometimes we can get a bit lost and feel like we are victims of circumstance. But really, if we have those first two things, those first two higher vibrations going on, we are able to recognize that we are great souls and that the other people we are working with are great souls. And therefore, we create an empowerment within us to be able to actually contribute to a situation in a way that we can create the outcome that we want, because we're coming from that higher vibratory space. So that is how it affects manifestation as well. So some of the things that you can ask when you're coming from that space in a situation is, what can I give? What is needed in this situation coming from that higher perspective? What is the learning for them? What is the learning for me? So it becomes a whole new way of being and seeing the world, because we start taking responsibility in each situation for us to be the catalyst for change for good. The other two things that I would bring in is a gratitude, which we did talk about in the previous podcast. Gratitude is a very powerful but simple energy that allows us to change the vibratory energy of a situation straight away, to come from that space as a higher vibration. And vibrational training, working with our vibratory field and the vibrations that we carry and the vibrations that are in any given situation, and actually training ourselves and working with it to be able to change it when that change is needed.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about what vibrational training is?
Yeah, well, energy is just energy. You know, it is us that puts the judgment on it of it being good or bad, the way we perceive anger, whereas anger can actually be transformed and used for good. So it is about recognizing this, that energy is just energy, that transformation is possible and it can be used for the good. So this is about practicing mindfulness in our daily lives and unconditional love for ourselves and others. So things that lift the vibration that you can start to bring into your life. And the really amazing thing is that people, because we are all great souls and have that core of divinity within us, we're pretty smart. And we actually do some of this unconsciously. Like if somebody is stressed and they go for a run, what they've actually done is they have used exercise to create endorphins, which make you happy, which is a higher vibration. So they have automatically actually gone through that vibrational training and changed things for themselves. So again, things like boxing, exercise, sport, because endorphins make you happy. It shifts the vibration. Things
Dancing. You forgot dancing.
Yeah, I've got dancing here.
Singing.
So dancing, types of music you listen to, watching funny movies, laughter yoga, walks on the beach, singing, all those sorts of things that shift your vibration, shift your perspective, shift you into a happier, more joyous space is actually shifting the vibration. And that's what vibrational training is about. It's about on those days where you feel yourself getting quite low for whatever you're going through at the time, that you go, okay, I am an empowered being and I have the ability to shift this and change it. And by doing that, I change my reality, which changes the resonance that goes out into the universe that's listening. And thereby, I change some of those experiences that are coming to me.
All very easy things to do, actually, when you think about it.
Yes. It's actually not
that's the
too,
issue.
it's not hard.
You've got to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to make that decision.
Yeah.
And that is the key, that when you're actually going downhill, that you think you pull yourself up and you make a decision and understand that you can change it. Because for most people, they don't make that decision. And that's the real training, is to make that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know how to now do that, but what I'd like to ask you, Kim, is what about the lower vibrations and how do we change those?
Well, most people, actually, Aimee answered a lot of this, but I'll reiterate it in a different way. Okay, so you do have the exercise thing, which is really important. Taking responsibility for your life and understanding your divinity, recognizing that at your core you are a divine being and that you are an empowered divine being, so you can change things. I think if you can embed that into your psyche, you're more than halfway there, really. And acceptance, non-judgment. If you get into judgment, you're going to get stuck.
Because it's a lower vibration.
Because it's a lower vibration.
Yeah, exactly.
You will get stuck. And it will take you a lot longer to get out of a emotional or mental hole than if you just accepted and said, okay, this is part of my journey. I need to recognize the trigger that put me here in the first place and understand it. And then learn from there and then move on. And also, you need to clear the space. Like if you had an angry outburst, right? This is energy hygiene we're getting into now.
Yep.
If you had an angry outburst or you had an argument with someone in your house or anywhere really, then most of the time I just tell clients, put the CD on and give intent and clear it. If you don't have a CD, then you need to consciously connect with the divine and say, well, this has happened and I need all this energy cleared from both parties, please. And from the house entity and or the room entity, because otherwise you could go into your room, process, come out, you'd be feeling all right, and then you walk smack bang into all that congested, angry energy, and then you fill up again. Or someone from outside can come in and walk in it, and then they're feeling angry, and then their fight starts again. Because the thing about energy, especially anger energy, is like it's infectious. It's like it spreads.
Oh, it's like a virus.
Someone might have been angry with you or annoyed you or something earlier in the day, and you just let it sit there. You don't clear it. And so it just sits there in your energy field. And then you go, say, home, and your partner or someone hasn't actually done anything really wrong, but something's happened that's irritated, and all of a sudden you spew out all this angry energy that they really didn't deserve, and you're kind of left wondering, now, why did I do that? That was a bit over the top. But you haven't cleared it, you see. You need to clear it, clear that energy so that you can come back into balance, emotional and mental and energetic balance. So the other way to do it is to go out, take 5, go outside and breathe consciously, give intent and consciously take some long, deep breaths and feel the energy run through you into the earth and ask Mother Gaia or Father Gaia to transform it. The other thing with anger, if you're finding you're continually being triggered and angry, then you actually need to stop, take a breath and say, okay, what is this anger actually about? Is it mine? And if it is, what is the core reason I'm angry and upset? Anger is usually, most of the time, a cover for a deeper hurt, especially if it's an ongoing anger. So if you can identify the hurt, then you can get the healing done for the hurt, release it, and it's not there anymore. So automatically, because we are who we are, we will start shifting into a higher vibratory space and our energy levels will lift, and it will have a good effect on all aspects of our being, including our ability to manifest.
Okay. So, question for you, Aimee. How do we remember to engage in vibrational training and stay in these lovely high vibrations that we speak about today?
Okay, well, I think just touching on what Kim said before, that it's about making the decision that that's how you want to exist and be and deal with things in your life. But the other thing is very, very simple, and it is be present.
And that's a big, powerful word. So, and you hear it a lot, but how do we absolutely stay present in any given moment?
Well, I think unless you are a very advanced spiritual teacher, that is something that takes practice. But one of the simplest things, the simplest things are sometimes the most powerful. And the thing that I would say is your breath. And I know that sounds very simple because we breathe all the time and we're not really aware of it. But speaking to the audience now, take a moment right now just to stop what you're doing and to actually take a breath. So you breathe in and you inhale. And then I want you to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. And I would ask each of you how you feel after doing that, because I am almost positive that every single one of you, when you take that moment to breathe, to focus on your breath, to focus on that breath going in and out of your body, you will feel calmer. And when you feel calmer, that is a higher vibration.
And we're all very present.
And we're all very present when we're breathing.
Okay, so lastly, the big question is, how do higher vibrations help us manifest?
Very good question. So the universal energy is a loving energy, and it's just waiting to meet our needs. And it responds to flow. Flow is created when we are in harmony with the universe and within ourselves and with others. So we are all, each and every one of us, divine beings connected to each other through this core of divinity. And it is through the conscious awareness of this truth that we become open not just to our good, but to everyone else's good too, as we come to understand the interconnectedness of all things. So this is a truth that is largely forgotten in the world today, and this has led to greed and poverty of spirit and the body. But it is through choosing to embrace these higher vibrations that we become one with this greater truth. And when we live each day from this space, flow is created, and it becomes easy to give, and it becomes easy to receive.
You've been listening to Spiritual Conversations with Callah and the Ancients. Join us again in a couple of weeks. And don't forget, this and previous episodes of Spiritual Conversations with Callah and the Ancients are available as a podcast from freshfm.net, iTunes and the Access Internet radio app, and of course on the website of Callah and the Ancients, where you can subscribe to us in all of those places. And if you'd like a distant treatment, please contact callandtheancients.com.